Yeah, well, when I was a young tyke, and I'm talking like I think 9, 10 months old, I remember my mom said the only way she could get me to stop crying a lot of the times was to turn music on. And when she would turn the music off, I would start crying. So she said she had music playing in my crib, next to my crib, like almost 24/7. Like, and so she knew then. She was like, this kid's got a desire for music even that young. So it started that young. And then I'd say when I was 5 years old, my parents got me a little Casio keyboard for my birthday, and I started playing that. My parents noticed, like, I would listen to I also had a Fisher Price record player, and I had like Michael Jackson Thriller and Whitney Houston, a lot of like early, or mid 80s, late 80s, because that's what they were into, So I listened to what they were into. And they just started noticing I was playing like Thriller and Michael Jackson's Bad on this Casio keyboard just naturally without anybody telling me what to do. So I was just picking out. I had an ear for it, So that's kind of when it started. It started with the little Casio synth keyboard, and I'll forever have a love for Casio. And I collect them now. Like anytime I see them at thrift stores or something, I'm like, oh my God. And so I immediately gravitate to a Casio keyboard. And plus the sound, actually, there are a lot of synths out there and that cannot mimic like that original Casio keyboard sound. So I've actually used a lot of that now, fast forward Casio keyboards that were made in the late 80s or late 90s, I've incorporated into my own production, like my own practice, which is cool. So yeah, so that's a way of like honoring like the start of it all. And then I guess, like as I became like around 11, 12, my mom was really religious and I grew up in the church, and the musical pastor of our church was Kevin Jonas Sr. He was the father of the Jonas Brothers. So I grew up around all of them and used to babysit them when they were younger. And so, but he was actually a massive influence in my life because he kind of took me under his wing as a musical mentor. And at the time he was a Christian contemporary artist, and he made his own like records and CDs and things, and is an incredible songwriter and vocalist, actually, which a lot of people don't know that about the Jonas Brothers, but their father was a big deal in the Christian contemporary music world. And so, yeah, so I learned about like how to concept a record, how to produce it, like how to distribute it, how to market it. I learned like the business of it all. And then it was my first intro, like being in a music studio and being exposed to that, and like meeting engineers and learning about Pro Tools. I started teaching myself Pro Tools when it first came out. Like, I don't know, when was this? I can't even remember. It was like 98, 99. So I was one of the first adopters of Pro Tools and Digital Performer, which is now Ableton. It's gone that direction. But like, which helped me. Like, I never thought I was actually going to be a musical artist. I was always, the production side of it really fascinated me more, challenged my brain a little bit more. And also I was too scared to actually pursue my own music personally. I just thought I wasn't worthy enough or good enough or whatever. I just didn't have the confidence yet, And but later on, now that I've developed the confidence to go out on my own, all of these things come into play and have helped me produce and help me make my own record now, and like, as you said, like looking back on history, it's like, wow, all of these things kind of lined up into place to help me and bring me to where I am now, which has been great. It's funny how life works that way. It's if you start to re-examine and look back and kind of connect the dots, you can kind of see a track record or a timeline, that leads you to now.